All right, buckle up for this one, folks. We're going deep into holiday card drama today.
Oh, yeah, this one's a doozy.
You guys sent us this article, and wow.
Talk about a family photo that's got everyone talking.
Seriously, not your typical, happy family by the fireplace kind of thing.
It really captures how much power a photo can have.
Definitely, especially one that breaks all the rules.
Exactly. Like, it makes you question everything you thought you knew about, well, family photos.
For sure. So this article, it's called Hidden Detail in Family's Holiday Card Sparks Outrage.
From IGV, right?
Yep, by Annie Walton Doyle. It lays it all out.
On the surface, totally normal holiday photo, parents, kids, the whole deal.
But then you see it.
And you're like, hold up, is that what I think it is?
Four of the adults, they're flipping off the camera.
Like sneakily, but still, right there in the holiday cheer.
Talk about a social experiment.
Like what happens when you take this symbol of, family and holidays?
And then add a big old middle finger right in the middle of it.
Boom, suddenly everyone's got to figure out where they stand on it.
Hilarious or horrifying.
Right. You're either totally on board or you're like, oh, no, they didn't.
And the internet. Well, they're having a field day with this one.
Oh, yeah, total viral sensation.
So who are the masterminds behind this, you ask?
I'm dying to know.
The article tells us it was the daughter's idea, Amanda Cooper.
Had to be one of the kids.
She wanted to shake things up, surprise her mom.
Who, by the way, usually runs the whole picture-perfect photo shoot.
Oh, yeah, meticulously planned every year.
But this time, Amanda was like, let's add a little spice.
Little rebellion, right?
And get this, they even had a code word.
No way, what was it?
Hippopotamus. No, right before the picture, Amanda yells, everyone say I want hippopotamus for Christmas.
And bam, middle fingers up.
The level of planning, it's impressive.
Strategic rebellion at its finest.
But the best part, the mom's reaction.
Tell me she wasn't furious.
Nope. Melinda King, the mom, thought the whole thing was hilarious. According to the article, she loved it.
That's a cool mom right there.
It's like this family, they're comfortable with a little mischief.
Maybe even poking fun at the whole holiday perfection thing.
But then the internet gets a hold of it.
And it explodes.
From family joke to public debate, just like that.
This TikTok video, over 2.4 million views.
And the comments. Forget about it.
Everything from this is brilliant to they ruined Christmas.
Even some photographers chiming in, worried about the extra editing work.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting, right?
Definitely. It's not just a photo anymore. It's like it's tapped into something deeper.
Totally. Our anxieties about family, the pressure to be happy during the holidays.
It's like this photo became a mirror.
Reflecting back all these different feelings and anxieties.
Some people saw it as a threat to tradition.
Others saw it as, honest and funny.
And social media, well, it just throws gasoline on the fire.
This family's private joke,
Yeah.
It's now everyone's business.
And suddenly we're all arguing about what a middle finger on a holiday card means.
So much for holiday cheer, right?
Right. Speaking of which, you also sent me this other article.
Oh, yeah, about December 11th.
Unofficial breakup day. Can you believe that?
And it connects perfectly to this whole holiday stress thing we've been talking about.
Like the opposite side of that rebellious family, right?
Exactly. It's not outward defiance. It's about the pressures couples feel.
This article, also by Annie Walton Doyle.
This one's from the New Zealand Herald. A lot of breakups will happen today.
What a dramatic title.
It goes into this whole idea of December 11th being the day relationships crumble.
Before the holidays even really hit.
Apparently, it started with a Facebook analysis back in 2008.
They found a spike in breakups around this time.
And it stuck around, even though people don't really announce breakups on Facebook anymore.
It makes you wonder, why this time of year?
The article suggests it's a bunch of things all happening at once.
Like the holidays, it's a time for reflection, right?
Chantel Otten, she's a sexologist, quoted in the article. She says people are looking at their lives.
And their relationships, wondering if it's all working.
Against this backdrop of new year, new me kind of thinking.
So you've got that going on.
Plus the money stress, family drama.
And all these crazy expectations about how the holiday should be.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It's interesting, though, thinking about this alongside that family photo.
Like they're outwardly rejecting all those expectations.
Could that be a strength when it comes to relationships?
Maybe. I mean, we know this breakup day trend is real.
The article cites a Flirtini survey.
Apparently the biggest stressor for couples.
The pressure to include partners in family gatherings.
Over 50% said that was a major issue.
Then there's the feeling of being rushed to commit.
And anxiety about gifts.
The whole 9 yards.
And get this, 33% admitted to staying in relationships just to avoid being alone for the holidays.
Talk about pressure.
So we've got this family seemingly laughing in the face of expectations.
And then all these couples on the verge of breaking up.
It's like two sides of the same holiday coin.
What can we learn from all this?
That's what I'm hoping we can explore in the rest of this deep dive.
Let's unpack it all.
I think there's a lot to uncover here.
Definitely. How to understand all this and maybe even find some ways to navigate it all.
With a little more grace, a little less stress.
And maybe, just maybe, a little more humor. It's kind of crazy, right? Like we're talking about this breakup day.
And it makes you think, is it connected to this whole desire for like a real not-so-perfect holiday?
You hit the nail on the head. It's like everyone's trying to force this picture-perfect holiday.
While their relationships are falling apart at the seams.
Exactly. And the article talks about this. It gives advice for couples during the holidays.
Like how to survive this time of year.
And the main thing that keeps coming up, communication.
Yeah, makes sense. But that's easier said than done right.
Oh, totally. Especially when everyone's stressed and the expectations are sky high.
The holidays can bring out the worst in people.
The article quotes Jana Hawking, a columnist. She says, give each other space.
Okay, space, that sounds good.
And acceptance. Like, accept that it's going to be tough.
Right, not everything's going to be perfect.
And try doing something new together to break out of the routine.
That's a good idea. Shake things up a bit.
It's about recognizing that the holidays are going to be challenging.
And actually trying to connect, on a deeper level.
Exactly, being proactive instead of just hoping for the best.
So don't just sit there and wait for the holiday magic to happen.
You got to put in the effort.
I like that. Be proactive.
And the article gets even more specific. It quotes this dating coach, Ricky Diamond.
Okay, what does she say?
She's all about open conversations, especially about money.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
But important, set a budget together. Talk about gift ideas.
To take the pressure off, right?
Exactly, because avoiding those conversations, it can lead to resentment.
And arguments, especially when you're already spending a ton.
Diamond also talks about family visits, making those plans together.
Finding compromises so everyone's happy.
Talk about who you're seeing, for how long, what feels fair.
These conversations, they can prevent so much stress.
And disagreements, because you're both on the same page.
It's not about assuming you know what the other person wants.
You got to talk about it.
And the article mentions one more important thing from dating expert Yu Shu.
Oh yeah, what's her take?
She's all about being honest about how you're feeling.
During the holidays, that can be tough.
But it makes sense. It's not just about the logistics. It's about the emotions.
The holidays can be super emotional.
She calls it real talk, like create a safe space to share your anxieties.
Your hopes, your expectations, the whole thing.
And that can actually bring you closer together.
It's about vulnerability.
So let's bring it back. We've got this family embracing the chaos.
And we've got all this expert advice about communication.
Do you see a connection there?
Absolutely. What if that family's crazy photo is actually a sign of good communication?
That's interesting. Maybe their willingness to be a little out there.
It means they're more comfortable being honest in their relationships.
Like they're not afraid to be real with each other.
They push boundaries, they challenge expectations, they communicate openly.
And maybe that spills over into their romantic relationships too.
It's a stark contrast to those couples who are struggling.
Clinging to this idea of a perfect holiday.
While they're secretly freaking out.
But let's not put this family on a pedestal either.
Right, it's not about everyone flipping off their loved ones in photos.
It's more about the attitude.
That willingness to laugh at themselves, to embrace the imperfections.
And use humor to connect, to relieve tension.
It's not for everyone. Some families thrive on structure and tradition.
And that's totally fine.
But there's something about that playful, rebellious energy.
It's a reminder to not take the holidays so seriously.
Be flexible. Let go of the need for perfection.
Maybe that's the real lesson here.
Find a way to honor the spirit of the holidays.
Whatever that means to you.
Without getting bogged down by all the pressure.
And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of mischief can help.
Not literally flipping off everyone.
But you know what I mean.
It's about finding your own way to express yourself.
To connect with the people you love.
And create a holiday experience that feels real, that feels like you.
But let's be real, even with the best intentions.
The holidays can be tough.
We've talked about communication, but what about the actual situations?
The in-laws, the budget, the pressure.
How do we deal with that stuff?
That's where the expert advice comes in.
It's one thing to talk about communication, but how do we actually do it?
Especially when things are getting crazy.
Let's get practical. Say you're broke this year.
And the thought of buying gifts is stressing you out.
What do you do?
Remember what Ricky Diamond said. Talk to your partner.
Don't keep it bottled up.
Be honest about your budget. Work together to find solutions.
Maybe set a spending limit, make homemade gifts.
Or even skip the gifts this year. Plan a fun experience later.
It's about shifting the focus from stuff to connection.
And if family's involved, talk to them too.
That can be hard.
But explain your situation, propose other gift ideas.
People are usually understanding.
Now, what about those dreaded family gatherings?
The ones that cause tension in your relationship.
Like one of you wants to spend all the time with family, the other wants a break.
It's about communication and boundaries.
It's okay to say no.
You don't have to do everything.
Remember that rebellious spirit.
Don't be afraid to break from tradition.
If it means prioritizing your relationship.
Maybe you alternate holidays, carve out some alone time.
Or even start a new tradition.
Find compromises that work for both of you.
And speak up for what you need.
Then what about when things go wrong?
The turkey burns, the decorations fall apart, the kids melt down.
It's easy to get frustrated.
But what if we took a cue from that photo?
Laughed at the chaos.
Embrace the imperfections.
And find the humor in the situation.
It'll help you manage stress.
And make it more fun for everyone.
It's about shifting the focus from a perfect holiday to real memories.
Even if those memories involve burnt food and wonky decorations.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
Everyone gets stressed during the holidays.
Everyone has those moments of chaos.
The key is to find healthy ways to cope.
Communicate with your loved ones.
And prioritize your own well-being. So, less stress, more authenticity.
Open communication, a little rebellion, a good sense of humor.
That's the recipe for a happy holiday.
And remember, the holidays are about connection.
Joy. Celebrating what matters most.
Don't let the pressure ruin the spirit of the season.
Create an experience that feels good, even if it's messy, unconventional, and real.
Absolutely. A holiday that's truly yours.
It's funny, right? We've been talking about all this stuff. Communication, boundaries, finding that balance.
Between tradition and, keeping it real.
And I keep thinking about those reactions to the family photo.
The one with the middle fingers?
Yeah, it's like expose this tension,
Around how we're supposed to do the holidays?
Like their little prank, it kind of hit a nerve.
It's wild how a photo can do that.
It's like it held up a mirror to society.
Showing us our anxieties, our hopes, the whole deal.
Some people saw it and felt validated.
Like finally, someone gets it.
The holidays aren't always perfect.
But for others, it was a threat.
Like they were messing with something sacred.
The image of perfect holiday bliss.
And it makes you think, how much of our stress comes from trying to live up to that image?
That picture-perfect ideal.
The decorations, the food, the family gathering, it's got to be perfect.
It's exhausting.
And social media doesn't help.
Oh no, it makes it way worse.
Everyone's showing off their highlight reel.
The most perfect, curated version of their holidays.
And it sets this impossible standard
that no one can actually achieve.
So you're constantly bombarded with these images of perfection.
And you feel like you're failing.
It makes the real messy parts of the holidays feel even worse.
So how do we escape that cycle?
How do we have holidays that feel real, authentic, and actually joyful?
Without needing everything to be perfect.
I think it starts with changing our perspective.
Okay, how do we do that?
What if we embrace the imperfections?
Like actually saw them as part of the beauty of the holidays.
Gave ourselves permission to let go of control.
Allow for spontaneity, for laughter, for the unexpected.
Those are usually the best moments anyway.
It's about enjoying the journey. Not just the destination.
Celebrating what makes your family or your relationship unique.
Even if it's a little weird or unconventional.
Imagine a holiday where it's okay if things go wrong.
The cookies burn, the decorations are a mess, someone starts an argument.
Acknowledge it, laugh about it, connect over it.
That's real.
Create a space where being real is more important than looking perfect.
Where laughter is always welcome.
And connection is the ultimate goal.
I like that, connection.
And I think that family, with their photo, they showed us that it's possible.
In their own way.
They weren't afraid to challenge the norms.
To poke fun at the seriousness of it all.
And create a holiday that felt true to them.
Whether you agree with their approach or not.
It makes you think.
About your own assumptions.
And maybe consider different ways to celebrate. So, as we wrap up this deep dive.
It's been quite a journey.
I want you to think about what resonated with you.
What stood out?
The rebellious spirit. The communication tips.
Embracing the imperfections.
Whatever it was, I hope it made you think.
And maybe even inspired you to approach this holiday season a little differently.
With more intention, more flexibility, more authenticity.
And remember, the holidays are about connection.
Joy, celebrating the things that matter most.
Don't let the pressure ruin the true spirit of the season.
Create an experience that feels good, even if it's messy, unconventional, and real.
A holiday that's truly yours.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Happy holidays, everyone.